Hi, welcome to Making Musician. It's me, your host, Helen, and today I wanted to talk about the 5 most helpful habits that I've developed in about the last year or so. By this point, if you've been watching this channel, I think you probably know that I'm like an absolute personal growth junkie. It's like my thing. I love always like learning and expanding. And so these are 5 habits that I have found to be particularly helpful in both my personal and professional development. Okay, number 1 is super simple, and it is having a protein shake every day. So I was vegetarian for probably about 10 years or so. Slowly at some point decided that maybe that wasn't the best diet option for me. So I slowly started incorporating like poultry and seafood into my diet, and I noticed that I felt a lot better, which is great. Like I had more energy. I think I was getting like probably more protein. I noticed that cooking meat took a lot of time, and like the vegetarian meals I was used to making were really fast, and they were also a lot cheaper than anything I could cook that had poultry and seafood. So I started having protein shakes, and that's been really, really awesome for me. So it's a super fast option. It's very affordable, and it's really, really easy, which means that it's something that I can count on myself to do on a pretty regular basis, which is awesome. Doing that made me feel like I had so much more energy throughout the day, and I really didn't get hangry nearly as much. But if I felt like I was gonna get hangry, it was super easy. Like I could just have a protein shake, and then I could make myself a meal like while I was drinking the shake. So I would get some protein in, I would immediately start to feel better, and then I could cook myself something to eat, which was an awesome solution. I also noticed that my craving at the end of the day for junk food has pretty much subsided. So I can't say for sure if this is because I'm getting more protein, but it kind of feels like that would make sense. Next up is taking time every single day to search for some kind of an inspiration. This is a new thing for me. As somebody who identifies as like an artist, right? I feel like I am constantly emptying my cup. You know, that like metaphorical cup that talks about like your emotional capacity for like giving and all that good stuff. So I feel like I am like totally emptying my cup every day by doing my work, which is really great, but that means I also need to have a way that I can consciously like be refilling my cup so that I can still be able to do my job and do my work. Taking time to search for inspiration has really been a great source of like cup filling for me. It can be something super simple like listening to a podcast while I am cleaning my kitchen, or just like scrolling on Pinterest looking at new ideas, but getting inspired has been really a game changer for me. Journaling as a way to fill my cup and like search for inspiration has really surprised me, but it's been super beneficial. So a lot of the times I will just set a timer for about 5 to 10 minutes and then sit down and come up with 10 ideas. To be clear, most of these ideas end up not being like the best, or not necessarily being something that I could really pursue, but I do get, you know, some really actually like interesting ideas on paper, and then I think like, oh, you know, I should actually, you know, do something with that. And a lot of my more recently like kind of outlandish, a little more out there ideas that I've had a lot of fun going after have been results of this like searching for inspiration every day and like trying to come up with new ideas. So that's been a really beneficial habit. Next up, we have listening to books and like podcasts. So I, for a long time, was somebody that really only enjoyed consuming written word. So I loved reading books or like reading blog posts, but I didn't really listen to books or like listen to audiobooks or podcasts, stuff like that. And that changed very quickly when I got a university commute that was like about 45 to 60 minutes each way on any given day. So I started immediately doing things like listening to books in the car, and that was really exciting for me. It is really thrilling to me that I get to turn mundane tasks like cleaning or commuting or even getting ready in the morning into learning opportunities. As long as I can remember, I have loved learning, and my parents actually sent me to a Montessori school for the majority of my education, and this school system, if you're not familiar, is very much centered around like self-guided learning and like self-paced learning, and that served me really well as an adult. So I, even now that I'm not in school anymore, I'm always really excited when I get the chance to learn something new. I'm always teaching myself about newly found passions, and I do that a lot through audiobooks and podcasts. 4, this one's a little funny, but setting up time to fill my social calendar. So once a week, I sit down and I contact everybody that I love and care about and that I would love to set up something on the calendar and see. And that has been really, really cool. This was really life-changing. I went from feeling lonely and kind of just like sad and isolated to feeling like I was finally living a life that was really vibrant and really exciting. And I realized from doing this that actually I require a really high level of socialization to feel like I'm operating as my best self. So because of this new realization, I now make a conscious effort to fill up my social calendar with at least 3 to 5 things every single week. If you're finding that you're feeling kind of lonely and down a lot and you wish that you had more going on in your life, honestly, give this a go. Just like sit down for 20 minutes every week and reach out to all of your friends. Just a quick text like, hey, what are you doing this week? I would love to get together. Let me know when you're free. Amazing. My 5th habit that has been absolutely life-changing is just really simple. It's staying on top of my inbox. So I don't know why, but I get such anxiety around emails. I get really anxious when it comes time to draft a response to an email, and I'm pretty sure that it's just my imposter syndrome like rearing its ugly head. For some reason, when I'm writing an email, I am absolutely terrified that I'm gonna make some kind of a grammatical error or like I'm gonna spell something wrong, and then the whole world is finally gonna figure out that actually I'm a big dumb idiot and I don't know what I'm doing. Makes total sense, right? Like, obviously, like, that's not gonna happen. That's not what's going on. And even in the past, when I've gotten emails from people with grammatical errors in them, like, I don't care. It's not the end of the world. But for some reason, for me, in my head, this is like a huge, terrible, terrible thing. Anyways, my solution to this has not been like a very exciting one, but basically just like taking time every day, diving into my inbox and just responding to everything, no matter what, has been really, really, really great. It helps on a lot of levels. First of all, I don't feel like I'm absolutely like drowning in guilt every time I go on my phone or I go on any device, because I see that like, oh God, I have to answer these emails, and that was always like really stressful and a big source of anxiety for me. But also, I'm not missing out on opportunities because I'm not